When I was 21, I was hanging out with these girls for the summer. One of them was married and her husband was on vacation. Things started to heat up between me and the married one. You know, we used to hang out publicly most of the time. But there was one time where we were alone and we fooled around. We didn't sleep together, but I'm not going to lie and say we didn't want to. But things started getting intense. And then her husband came back, and he started inviting me up their house with the both of them. You know, have a few beers, watch a movie, and I complied. You know, because I felt guilty if I didn't, and it was very, very awkward. So I only did that a couple of times, but most of the times I shot him down when he asked me to go over. So whenever I would see her, I knew like the feeling was very intense. You know, I knew we wanted to be together. So one day on my way to work, I decided not to go, and I went over to see her in the morning. She made me a cup of coffee, and she told me that she told her husband that there was somebody else. And I was like, oh jeez. But I felt good, because it needed to be done, but yet I was scared at the same time, because this guy was like 6'3". He was a big guy. He was a nice guy, I'm not gonna lie, but I thought he was a scumbag originally, because I'd known him to be fooling around with this other woman the summer before. So I was trying to justify my position, you know. So we're having the coffee, and she told me that. And then the next thing you know, he came home from work. And I was like, oh shit. So he walked by, he didn't say a word, and then he came back in the kitchen and he said, can you leave please? And I said, yeah. And I got up. I was nervous. And I left. So I knew like the shit was gonna hit the fan eventually. I didn't know when. So a couple of days had passed. And I walked up to my apartment, and I told my father, I said, if some big guy comes ringing the bell that you never seen before, tell him I'm not home. I'm going to go take a nap. So I go take a nap. I hear the bell ring, and then I hear my father say, hey Tom, come in. Someone's at the window. I just told you not to freaking tell him I was home. I don't want to lie to the guy. My father. Yeah, all right, great. So I go to the window. He asked me if I can come down and talk to him. I said, all right. I'm shitting a brick. You know, I'm nervous as hell. This is a very scary moment. So he said, so I went down, and he went and got a 6-pack. And he said, you want to take a ride to the park? So we went to Astoria Park. He gave me a beer. And, you know, we were just talking. I was nervous. And then he started asking me about her and my feelings. And I told him I was honest. And he asked me to do him a favor and stay away for a while and give him a chance. And I said, all right, no problem, you know. He also taught me how to open a beer bottle with a lighter. You go like this, and just like that. So I always felt funny when I was trying to show everybody that trick. I had to tell them, yeah, my ex-girlfriend's husband taught me that. So we drive back to the neighborhood, and he drops me off. And then I'm like, I'm going to church. I got to go to church. So as I'm walking away, he calls me over and says, you want to go upstairs and watch the Jet game with me and my wife? No, thank you. Why would he think I would want to watch the fucking Jets?